Canada's Immigration Policy Overhaul. Marc Miller's vision for a controlled system. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Today, we're diving into the major overhaul of Canada's immigration policy, as announced by Immigration Minister Marc Miller. What's behind this significant shift, and how will it impact our housing, economy, and everyday life? Stay tuned as we break down the latest changes and their potential effects. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all things Canada. Share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Let's get started. As discussions intensify around the impact of immigration on housing and affordability in Canada, Immigration Minister Marc Miller's recent statements signal a significant shift in the country's immigration policies. This proposed overhaul aims to address both the economic needs of the nation and the growing public concerns about the effects of increased immigration on everyday life. The era of unrestricted immigration programs draws to a close. Canada has long been known for its welcoming stance towards newcomers. However, the days of unrestricted immigration programs may soon be over. In an exclusive interview, Marc Miller indicated a major change in immigration policy. He stated, "The era of uncapped programs to come into this country is quickly coming to an end. This is a significant shift. You can't just slam on the brakes and expect it to stop immediately." This announcement underscores the government's intention to recalibrate its approach to immigration. The shift is meant to balance the positive economic contributions of immigrants with the increasing concerns of Canadians about housing shortages and rising living costs. Rising concerns over temporary residents. The increase in the number of temporary residents in Canada has been notable in recent years. This rise can be attributed to the Liberal government's response to labor shortages that were exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. The influx of temporary workers, students, and other short-term residents has led to growing dissatisfaction among the public. Many Canadians feel that this surge has worsened the housing crisis and heightened issues related to affordability. According to a recent Ledger poll, 60% of Canadians believe there are too many immigrants entering the country. This sentiment reflects a significant concern among the population about the current pace of immigration. Miller acknowledges these concerns, stating, "I'm not naive enough to think Canada is immune to anti-immigrant sentiments. Canadians want a system that is not out of control." He further elaborated, "Canadians want a system that makes sense. And they want one that still maintains the welcoming aspects we've been proud of, but it's got to make sense." Miller anticipates that immigration will be a critical issue in the next federal election, expected in late 2025. This suggests that the government is preparing for a potential shift in public opinion and political discourse as they work to address these pressing concerns. New measures already in motion. In response to public concerns, the Canadian government has already started implementing several new measures aimed at regulating immigration more effectively. In January, the government introduced a 2-year cap on international students. This sector had become overheated, according to Miller, and was never intended to serve as a backdoor entry into Canada. In March, the government announced a significant policy change by capping temporary immigration. The goal is to reduce the proportion of temporary residents to 5% of the total population over the next 3 years, down from 6.2% in 2023. This represents a substantial cut from the 2.5 million temporary residents recorded last year. The new cap is intended to alleviate some of the pressures associated with high levels of temporary migration, addressing challenges and skepticism. Despite these efforts, there are challenges to achieving these new targets. The Bank of Canada's recent monetary policy report has raised concerns about the feasibility of the proposed goals. As of April, non-permanent residents comprised 6.8% of the population, and this figure is expected to rise in the near term. The challenge will be to reduce this percentage while managing the current and anticipated levels of temporary residents. Miller remains optimistic about meeting the new targets, describing the goal as reasonable given the comprehensive measures that will be introduced in the coming weeks. Although he has not provided specific details about these measures, Miller hinted at possible changes to postgraduate work permits and enforcement protocols that could play a role in achieving the new targets. Acknowledging past mistakes. When questioned about whether the rapid growth in temporary residents was a mistake, Miller openly admitted that all governments make errors. "Every government makes mistakes. I think we are all human. But coming out of COVID, in particular, we were facing massive labor shortages," he said. This acknowledgement highlights the difficulties of managing immigration policy during an unprecedented global health crisis and the need to adjust strategies in response to evolving circumstances. The refugee situation. In addition to temporary residents, Canada is also dealing with a surge in refugee claims. In June alone, over 18,000 refugee claims were filed, according to the Immigration and Refugee Board. This increase persists despite government efforts to deter asylum seekers through measures such as closing the land border to asylum seekers via a controversial agreement with the United States and imposing new visa requirements for Mexicans. While Canada cannot control the number of refugee claims it receives, it can implement stricter criteria for temporary resident visas to help manage the influx. Miller suggested that this approach might be considered to prevent asylum seekers from entering the country through temporary visas. Regularization program delayed. Another topic in the immigration debate is the potential regularization of undocumented residents. The government had previously indicated plans to pursue a broad regularization program, but this initiative has been postponed until after the next federal election. Miller mentioned that sector-specific programs might be introduced in the meantime, reflecting a more cautious approach to addressing the complex issue of undocumented residents. The delay in the regularization program underscores the government's focus on managing temporary residents and addressing immediate public concerns before revisiting broader regularization efforts. Public sentiment and political implications. As Canada moves forward with these significant changes, public sentiment will play a crucial role in shaping the political landscape. The new measures are designed to address the frustrations of Canadians who are increasingly concerned about the sustainability of current immigration levels. The recent poll results highlight a shift in public opinion, indicating that many Canadians are worried about the impact of immigration on their daily lives. Canada's upcoming immigration reforms mark a pivotal moment in how the country manages population growth. With new caps on temporary residents and international students, along with potential changes to visa criteria and enforcement, the government aims to strike a balance between meeting economic needs and addressing public concerns. As the next federal election approaches, immigration is expected to be a central topic in political discussions. Canadians are seeking a system that balances openness with practicality, reflecting a desire for an immigration policy that is both welcoming and manageable. The government's ability to navigate these challenges will be crucial in shaping the future of Canada's immigration system and its impact on housing and affordability. Thanks for watching Canada Chronicles. We've covered a lot today about the upcoming changes to Canada's immigration policy and what it means for you. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more updates on living and working in Canada. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. Have questions or thoughts about today's topic? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay informed and take care.